What would you do for an already eaten Klondike bar? Nothing, really. Anyway, hi guys. I know I haven't done a video in like over a month or whatever. I always I'm starting to have a love-hate relationship with making excuses or explaining myself about why I don't do videos or why I don't do certain things like writings or whatever. But pretty legitimate reasons. I mean, I was going to do a polyamory 101 video, and then my polyamorous relationship kind of fell apart. So I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. Like, what right do I have to talk about polyamory if herp derp I can't even seem to do it right? Actually, I don't really think it was me so much as the other people involved. But I mean, it's probably partly me. That's typically how relationships go. So, yeah, about a week ago or so, I broke up, or she broke up with me, or whatever, however it went, with my girlfriend of almost 3 years, just yesterday, I lost her as a best friend, so it's been a really rough time for me this month, and I've also might have lost contact with a really good friend of mine. Work's really shitty. I have, been having a lot of problems there. My lack of social skills and physical clumsiness keep getting in the way of doing work as consistently and as well as the managers want me to do. So I've just been really busy with work. In my spare time, you know, I'm reading some books. I'm reading The Anarchist Portraits by Paul Average. And I got a new camera. I'm not sure if it's good enough, but it will probably work fine. My Christmas was kind of meh. I was kind of cranky and grumpy. I was basically grumpy cat the whole time because I hadn't got enough sleep the night before because I had overnight shift. And yeah, most of the time that I'm not spending working, I'm working on Markets Not Capitalism, or I'm relaxing, or hanging out with friends, or trying to scrape together my personal life because it's just in shambles right now, to be quite honest with you. But I'm not here to talk about all that, although as lovely as that is to talk about. I do want to say that I'm still going to keep making videos. I don't know how consistently. I am want to announce also that I'm moving out of New Hampshire for the foreseeable future in the next month or so. Actually, in a month from today, I'm basically moving out from New Hampshire. I mixed feelings about that, but basically I can't really stay here much longer. I'm going to be rooming with my friend Sam. My grandmother, of course, has been splendid or delightful or whatever you want to say to house me for this year plus that she has kept me here and tried to help me and all this other stuff. But I got to go my own way and try to figure stuff out. So I'm going to be moving back to Massachusetts. All my friends in Mass, hit me up, man. Yep, I just did a gang sign or something. What? How is that a gang sign? It's just a... Anyway. It's just a sideways peace sign. But anyway. So, yeah. And honestly, I kind of mixed feelings about that. Even though I'm not supposed to be talking about this, I'm just going to ramble because I haven't been on YouTube for a while. I'll just go as long as I want. I don't care. Yeah, I don't really mind so much. I'm very nomadic. And I don't have any strong ties to New Hampshire except a few people here and there. Like, obviously, my grandmother. A few friends here and there. But I mean, most of my friends, and most of the time that I hang out, I go down to Mass. So it's like, what's the point of living in New Hampshire if most of my fun doesn't even take place in New Hampshire? The only reason why I'm really in New Hampshire is because I have a house here. Or I have a house. My grandmother is letting me live in her house. So I don't really have any good reason to stick around anyway. So I don't mind. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to be moving to. Maybe Lynn, Mass. Or and then eventually maybe Worcester. I'm thinking about trying to connect with some comrades over there and see if we can work on some projects. So I don't know if there's going to be a delay on my voice, or if any of the mistakes that my webcam typically tends to make are going to be in play in this video. But right now it seems to be keeping up fairly well with my movements. I don't know about my mouth, though. So I can't promise you good quality, but, that's me. So I don't... if you're here for good quality, joke's on you. Alright, so this is a year in review kind of video. I know it's really cliche, but I wanted to get a video for you guys, at least before the year was over. And this is all I could really think about. I have a lot on my mind, so don't kill me for being so cliche. So... I just kind of want to go through the videos that I've done over the year, kind of talk about my feelings about them, and then maybe I'll talk about a few major events that have happened and my overall feelings on the year, and then what's lined up for the future. What do we got? What do I have in store for you guys? Not much, clearly. So I want to start this off with the first video that I did for this year, which was me reflecting on work, recent happenings, and more. So that was just me talking about Kohl's. I was basically talking about my experiences at work and what was going on, and that I was going to be eventually let go, or that I was being let go, or I'd already been let go. I forget which. I think I had just been let go, but other than that, I don't really remember what I talked about. I do remember that was one of those videos in which I waited for the bus, and I was talking to you guys while the bus was coming along. So I do remember that. Other than that, I mean, my job at Kohl's, it didn't really have much of an effect on this year. It kind of set the me getting let off from the seasonal job kind of set the tone, I guess, for the rest of my year. Because most of the rest of the year was either sporadic temporary work or really short-term retail via Nautica. But we'll get to that later. So I did a base cover on Everything Evil. This was one of my most recent base covers, I'm sad to say. I'm pretty sure it is my most recent. I'm not really sure. No, it's not. Know Your Enemy is. But it's one of my most recent, I'm really sad to say. Again, with base videos and covers in general, I have, my bass obviously, and I still have my speaker, but unfortunately I just don't have the right equipment to make that come through my microphone. And even when I got the equipment, it doesn't seem to be really working well with my computer. I just need better equipment, basically. So I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Therefore, I don't know when bass covers are going to come back. So I really apologize, but there's nothing I can do. I did have a decent setup for a few videos, but again, it stopped working because my microphone just won't connect with this computer right. I could try again, but I don't know. So then I did some thoughts on time travel. I kind of talked about if I would do something and go back in time, what would I do? Would I change my life? I still like that video. I don't really watch any of my videos, even after I do them. I only watch them in editing, and then I don't really ever watch them again. I never really think to, and I think that's kind of, I don't know, narcissistic, maybe might not be the right word, but I don't typically watch my own videos for whatever reason. So thoughts on time travel, that was cool. I think I remember opening up that video with a sip of hot cocoa or something because it was fucking cold. So then I was gone for about another month, a little bit over a month, and on February 27th I did another return, the past, the future, another video in which I said, oh hey, I've been busy, here's a video about why I've been busy, why I haven't been doing videos, I'm back, gonna do more videos. That's basically all it was. I didn't rewatch any of these videos, so I'm just going off of memory. In defense of the aesthetic principle, which was the response to Green Ghost, I'm sorry if this is boring, but it's all I can think to do, really. Yeah, so that was me kind of defending living a sort of nun sort of life, or a sort of monk sort of life with very few things owned, living very frugally, and all this other stuff. I think I actually misinterpreted Green Ghost's argument in that video, but nevertheless, it was a fun conversation to get into and a good topic to look up on. Here we got into, in March, I can't believe this was that long ago, wow. In March, I got into the length you narther debate. I'm sure you guys remember that, at least most of my viewers will. It's probably the series that's gotten me the most views. After that, I got into one of my favorite series, is really on video methodology and anti-intellectualism. I really liked those talks, and I really liked how they turned out. They got good reception, I feel, both on here and on Facebook, where I posted them as notes. So I'm really happy that happened. Basically, I was talking about trying to redeem the idea of anti-intellectualism, but put it in a different context than it's usually put in. Instead of mindless, theory bashing, put it more as a criticism or skepticism of the intelligentsia, of academia in general, and the role of academics, which is weird for me because I kind of have a divide within myself about whether I want to be an academic or not, but it just seems too bourgeois to me. I don't know. I'm really conflicted about it. But yeah, that was probably one of my, just thinking about that, I thought instantly, that was one of my favorite series to do. And it really was. I really enjoyed it. I did get less views as time goes on, but that's kind of my own fault for splitting it up into 3 parts, but I didn't want to overwhelm people. I figured it'd be more digestible if I did it over a 3-day period. Did I do that? 18, 19, 20. Yeah, that's probably one of the only times I've ever done that. Then I did my last base cover so far, which is Know Your Enemy by Rage Against the Machine. Not the best quality, but it was all right. Then I did a response to Anarcho Doormats, which was kind of defending both left libertarianism and social anarchism. Then I announced my Voltairine Declare presentation. And then I did my really, really long response to Revenge of the Left Libertarians, which took up 2 hours of my time. I spent, I don't know how many hours, at least 4 hours or so, working on that video, editing it, making sure it all was coherent. And then Length Unarther basically had a response, and he's like, yeah, fuck this, I'm not gonna, he gave me like a half-an-hour response. Most of it I didn't even feel like responding to. It was I felt like his response was really inadequate. I mean, all of his responses I felt were, but I felt like I should really give time to them to explain left libertarianism. And I'm still glad I did that. I know it was ridiculous, but hey, I got 463 views on that. 12 likes, 4 dislikes, 135 comments. That's probably one of my more popular videos, for sure. So there was there were 2 other video responses, though, I did in response to Length Unarther. If cooperatives are so great, why don't they exist? So wherein I quoted a lot of Kevin Carson and Roderick Long about what keeps cooperatives out of the markets and how we can and I think I might have gotten into how we can open it up, but maybe not. And then I think I did a final response to Anarchy Economics by Length Unarther. And then I took a quiz, and I briefly talked about what was it? Just hovered over it. Talk about having 100 subscribers and all that stuff. Then me and Lauren did a Cabin in the Woods movie review. I eventually unlisted that, though, because a lot of people, some people who knew her from World of Warcraft, I guess, were basically calling her fat and saying all these really body shaming kind of posts, and it was really dumb. So I eventually acquiesced to her wishes to delete it or unlist it. She actually wanted me to delete it, but I didn't do that. You can still find it on here. I don't really recommend feeding the trolls like I did. I don't know why I did that, but so then I did a response to Thoughts on Anarchism. Basically, it was sort of like a liberal who didn't really know much about anarchism, so I responded to some of their misconceptions. It was fun. They never did a response, which I found disheartening. I wish they had, but so the conversation would go from there. A month later, I did sort of a Trolls 2 reference, and just did a worm. Did a worm. Let's see. I opened up like kind of a quote-unquote wormhole with my video, looking into my video. And then I did another return video, which was just me again talking about where I'd been, what I'm doing, what I'm going to be doing. Then I did the On the Theme. I started the On the Theme kind of series, and I started on the theme of giving up. I was really depressed at the time about this woman who basically I've been in love with for about 4 years. I'm thinking about cutting her off from my life because she just really caused me way too much grief, and she doesn't talk to me at all or want to hang out or really make an attempt to. So it's like, why are you in my life? No offense to her, but just think that's the way it should go. And then I did a review of The Dark Knight. So basically Nolan's great but flawed Storm, The Dark Knight movie review. Was that what it's called? Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises movie review. Excuse me. And that got about 124 views, 7 thumbs up, 8 likes. My longer videos seem to get more watches, and I'm not really sure why. If an anarchist comments on a movie, does anybody listen? That was my comment on If a Tree Falls, which was a spectacular movie. I spent quite a bit of time talking about topics that the movie raises. And then I did a poem video, which was nice. I did that about a week after the anarchist comments on a movie video. Tons of Smiles, Super, and Conflict, which was a 3-part poem reading, and it was all about this woman who I really had just met, but I was really infatuated with her, and I still am. I'm not romantically interested in her, which sounds weird, but I'm kind of like in friend love with her. I know that doesn't make it sound any better, but yeah, I don't really find her like, you know, sexually attractive, but I find her like really emotionally like engaging and really awesome personally, and she's someone who I wouldn't mind, you know, cuddling with, but not somebody I'd want to have sex with per se. But you know, she's very pretty. So it's like, it's weird, but I don't know. For me, it's like, at this point, it's like, it's just normal. One of my other more popular videos, I responded to Cult of Dusty's Libertarians Are Idiots, in which I actually charitably kind of interpreted right libertarians a little bit, because I felt the video was so grossly unfair that it even got right libertarians wrong, which I'm like, wow, you suck. And then I did a few more on the theme videos. So I did on the theme of communication, in which I lamented about my lack of communication skills, especially having Asperger's. And then on the theme of depression, specifically being out of reach of life and people and, you know, things in general, feeling like I'm just not close enough. I hope, oh, sorry about that. So anyway, and then I did some thoughts on the protest in Spain, in which I kind of made probably one of my most populist kind of video. I don't really care for reformism, but I mean, I can't deny that there's some use in us as, you know, let's imagine the analogy is that we're all prisoners, and, you know, we want to get out as soon as possible. You know, we want to burn the fucker down. But we can't, at least not with the tools we have. We got to bury, you know, dig our way out first. And that's pretty radical, obviously. Now, what would be less radical is demanding better rations and better food for the prisoners. But I mean, you know, if a prisoner's on his last leg and you're like, no, for the revolution, you should keep digging instead of feeding yourself. It's like, well, at that point, the revolution's not worth it. It's just like surviving or the revolution. You know, your material conditions or some metaphysical abstract thing. You know, it's like people's material conditions have to be in play. Voltaire talked about this a lot in her discussions in The Dominant Idea, or her essay, The Dominant Idea, her talk on the Mexican Revolt, and all this kind of stuff. So material conditions matter more in certain contexts than abstract ideological concerns. Because, you know, while you're talking about grandiose revolutions and your theory books and libraries and, you know, bourgeois whatever, people are starving. So there's got to be something done about that. You can't just expect people to take what little scraps they have and give those up for an entirely new system. You know, you got to show them that it works by providing them those scraps and saying you can do a lot better. You should not strike for a little, but as Voltaire said, strike for all. Strike for everything you can get from the bastards. So I did a response to on not voting. I don't remember who this was. I actually don't even remember doing this video. But apparently I did it. Somebody was talking about on not voting. This has always been kind of a pet peeve of mine, that libertarians don't really get that the political system is useless, yet they criticize it all the time. It just seems really stupid to me. And I think there was another video about reformism I was going to make. Oh yeah, it was going to be about the weed legalization in Washington, and libertarians shouldn't be really excited about it. You know, it's like yay, but it's not like yay. So at first I was like, but then I was like, so, you know. And then I did a somewhat important update on my life and my channel, in which I told you guys I would start making videos. Yeah, right. I still haven't made or edited my Voltaire Declare Glow of Legend presentation. I don't know when I'll do that. Like I admitted last time, I think I admitted last time. I don't know when I'm going to do that. And yeah, that was basically the year in terms of my videos. You can go on my video manager. All those videos except the Cabin in the Woods review are listed. I think you can still look up a Cabin in the Woods review if you want to. It's pretty funny. I definitely enjoyed doing it with Lauren, even though we're not friends anymore, or romantic partners, or even friends anymore, I guess. Yeah, try having that happen within the week of each other. Like, that's really rough, man. Yeah, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it, and the bloopers are really funny too. I think we, for whatever it's worth, now I think we had a really good chemistry, and I am kind of sad that it fell apart like it did. But I won't go too much into that. It's personal stuff, and I don't really want to name names or play blame games or whatever. Just say I'm kind of sad it's over, but I gotta move on. And honestly, if I can move on from this, from not being friends with her anymore and not being romantic partners and whatever, I think I can deal with a lot. And I'm not even talking about this stuff to out her or whatever. I don't think I'm outing her as anything. I think it's just important to talk about these things openly. It might, like, and here's my Asperger's, like full on Asperger's here. It might not be socially acceptable to talk about this kind of stuff, but it's like, fuck it, I don't care. Like, I want to express myself, and I'm not going to keep myself contained to just a few private conversations. I haven't said anything bad about anybody, so it's like, this shouldn't be taboo. I shouldn't have to keep everything secret. Now, obviously, to some extent, yeah, some things are better left to yourself or to private correspondence, but this stuff, it's just, hey, this happened. I'm not laying any blame on anyone. So I get annoyed when people are like, hey, you shouldn't talk about that. That's not socially acceptable. It's like, sometimes I hear you. Like, I made a post about our breakup, and that was stupid, because it's like, well, people can figure that out from my relationship status. If they really care enough, they'll message me. I can tell people who I really want to talk to about it. That's it. But this is like, I'm just saying it happened. And I'm not giving any details. But I guess that's what I did with the relationship thing too, huh? But I don't know. I was told that it makes me look like I want drama, but it's like, I don't want drama. I'm not interested in drama. I'm just interested in expressing myself. And if people want to give feedback, that's cool. But I don't know. I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on that. I'm not interested in drama. I don't want to cause any drama for myself or for her. I don't know if this causes it either way. If it does, then I guess I'll stop doing it. Maybe that's why it's not socially acceptable, because it causes drama. But I don't know. Drama seems to be pretty socially acceptable, if you ask me. So I don't know. It seems to be a double standard going on here. So I know I've at least gone like 15 minutes or more, maybe 20 minutes. I'm not really sure. Damn it. 1 second. I was trying to throw the Klondike bar wrapper in the pail, but I didn't do it. This is why I'm never getting in the NBA, folks. So I guess the major events that happened this year, originally I thought I was still living in Grafton, but that was last year. I guess the big events, I mean, I really feel like this, I was thinking about this earlier, and I feel like this has been like one of the most important years of my life. Sorry about the lighting right now. Wow, that's way too bright. I really feel like this has been like one of the most important, like, the years of my life. Like, I made some really important choices. Like, I chose to break it off with Lauren. She chose to break it off with me even further. I've changed a lot. I don't consider myself a market anarchist anymore. I consider myself an anarchist without adjectives. I'm within the general school of thought of individualist anarchism and mutualist anarchism. But I still don't subscribe to one theory per se. My ideal kind of society is a mix of mutualism and individualism. And I'm totally cool with the anarcho-communists having their own communes too, as long as they don't try to expropriate as long as they can get along with the individualists and the mutualists. I'm pretty cool with the anarcho-communists existing. But I'm not an anarcho-communist myself. And maybe I'll get into some other time why I'm that, because that's neither here nor there, and I don't think I can really back up why I'm not right now. I do have some reasons, but I don't know that they'd be entirely convincing, and I haven't really thought it up in my mind. So excuses, I know. I got a job at Nautica, which lasted all of a month, which they started letting me go quickly and quietly. I'm still technically working there, I think, but I'm not making any money. They're not calling me. They haven't called me. For all intents and purposes, they let me go, or they asked me to resign, and then when they got more hours in the winter, they would call me back. Oh, hey, they never called me back. I just remembered that, and I made the connection like, oh, hey, they never called me back. But that's because I didn't resign, maybe, or maybe they would never have called me back anyway. They just don't want to fire me, because if they fire me, well, I'll get unemployment benefits, and, I can claim all this bunch of stuff. The other job I had this year, which was earlier in the year, before Nautica, was picking up snow. For a few months, I was without a job picking up snow. I did some shoveling, very, very sporadically, because the winter was terrible. in terms of not being winter. About 2 months ago now, almost 3 months ago now, I got a job at Walgreens. It's been really mixed. It's basically reinforced my opinion that work sucks, and that work should, as it currently stands, should be abolished. I don't really think anything could have convinced me more than working in retail and working the jobs I have, because I hate them. I hate all of the jobs that I've had. I don't like a single one of them. I don't care about the companies. I'm getting shit for wages. I'm getting $8 at Walgreens. And, you know, I just don't care about them. And it makes me feel really unfulfilled with my life. Especially when you have a manager that really treats you like shit. There's one manager who just is totally always pressuring me, telling me to go faster, work more efficiently. I don't know if this can get me fired for saying all this stuff. I actually really don't know. But I don't think it can. I don't think I'm saying anything, you know. I don't think just because I don't care about the company doesn't mean I'm not going to work. I need the money, so I'm still going to give it my best in terms of the job. Well, I'll give it my best. I'll give it something. I'll give them what I think, you know, the job entails and what I think it deserves of my energy, which I usually come home pretty exhausted, so I must be given something, right? And, you know, I've done a good job a few nights here and there, and so, I mean, it's not like I'm not giving anything to the job. I've certainly given something. Certainly care about it to some extent, but that's only because it gives me money, and for no other reason. Again, I don't know if this can get me fired. And technically speaking, I'm already on, not technically speaking, but I'm already on pretty thin ice with management and stuff like that, because I've had a lot of cash mishandling issues and problems. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to delete this part of the section, because I don't think there are good chances that they're going to look me up and find me on YouTube. I mean, my username isn't even on my Rage Against the Clampdown username isn't even my name, obviously. But then again, if I post it on my Facebook, I don't know. But I mean, I've posted I hate my job on my Facebook quite a bit, or I've at least insinuated it, and I posted so many anarchist things, it's like, if they wanted to let me go, they would have let me go by now. That's one thing, by the way, that I kind of want to talk about really briefly, is like, I'm really worried to bring in any books that are anarchist into work. I mean, for obvious reasons, but my main readings right now are like 3 books about anarchism, and they have anarchist right on the front title, and it's like, I can't risk bringing that in. Now, the Voltairine Declare reader, even if one even took a cursory glance at like the front and back, they'd be able to figure out it was about anarchism. But at least it's about a specific individual. It's not about anarchism itself. I could wiggle around that and say I'm interested in radical thinkers of the 20th century. But anyway, so yeah, I living a pretty unfulfilled life right now. I want to get back into base more often, but I'm just I'm trying to schedule out my days better. I only do 2 hours of Facebook now, of catching up on it, and then everything else is kind of sporadic. I try for 2 hours. Today I did about 2.5, but still not that bad. I should try to cut it down to 1 hour, and then I want to spend like an hour a day on the book, Anarchist Portraits. I'll show it to you guys because it's pretty kick-ass. I'll show you this new book I got too. Eventually I'll show you guys my book collection. It's not really much to Google at or whatever, but so this is Anarchist Portraits by Paul Average, the amazing Paul Average. Really good so far. Anarchist Voices, again, Paul Average. And then Facing the Enemy, a history of anarchist organization from Proudhon to May 1968, by Alexandra Skurda, translated by Paul Sharkey. So this was cool too. And this is a book that I got from a comrade in Philadelphia. My aunt actually said humorously, she didn't say this humorously for herself, but she's like, makes me worried when you say the word comrade. It makes me think of communists. I was just laughing. It's like, well, they are my comrades. What do you want me to do? But hillbilly nationalists, urban race rebels, and black power, community organizing in radical times. Boy, that's a mouthful. but should be a kick-ass book. My comrade Francis in Philadelphia sent me it. And he also sent me Black Flags and Windmills by Scott Crow earlier in the year. He's just a really great guy. I really appreciate what he's doing for me. So maybe I'll give him something at some point. But maybe. So those are the books that I got going on right now. They all look pretty good. I'm planning on reading Average's books though first, because he's the more established historian. No offense to Sharkey and Skirta, but yeah, I think I've probably rambled enough. I hope you guys have a good New Year. Lord knows I've had a really shitty month. I lost my best friend and my girlfriend within a span of a few weeks from each other. When I hadn't lost her, we were in like, you know, our relationship had just been very rocky. I'm not going to get into specifics, but, you know, it's just things had not been going well, and maybe, you know, maybe this isn't worth saying. It's shitty because it's like having autism, like, and I'm not trying to like justify me talking about this, but it's like, and again, sorry about the lighting, but makes me like really confused about what I should communicate to people and what I shouldn't, and what's socially acceptable and what's not, and whether I should care whether it's socially acceptable or not. So it's like all these conflicts that are going on in my head, you know. So when I'm saying all this stuff, you know, and somebody sees it's like, oh, what an asshole, he's talking about the breakup and stuff like that, he just wants drama. It's like, no, I don't want drama. I don't know whether I should talk about this stuff or not, and I'm just really confused and kind of hurt and upset about it all, and I just want to vent somehow about it, you know, publicly. And I don't know why I want to do it publicly. I just, one of my first instincts is to like make a Facebook post about it. But I think that's pretty shitty. You know, I should want to talk to close friends about, which I do. That actually is my first instinct, excuse me. But after that, it's like, well, I should mention something about this on Facebook so people know what's going on with my life. So if people are concerned and they have a concern, they'll talk to me or something. But it's like, if there's anybody I really want to talk to, I guess I do that. I don't know. I do that myself. But I have work tonight. I should stop babbling. I only have about an hour and a half to work. So thanks for sticking with me, guys. I know I only sporadically post videos, and I'm really sorry about that. If any of you guys really enjoy my videos anyway. But yeah, Happy New Year. I'll catch you around the bend. I don't know what bend that's referring to. Like, where's the bend? How big is the bend? But anyway, on that note, Happy New Year. Hopefully 2013 will treat me a little bit better, and not like a redheaded stepchild. I don't understand why the stepchildren who are always redheaded like get beaten up. I don't know. Okay, bye.